now we are going to start with the CSS part for this application, which is get Unicode character value. So for that we need to use the style.css file. Instead of that, first I am going to select the body element, and then here we need to apply some code. So the first thing, I'm going to change the font family. The font family that I will be using here is sans serif. Okay, so this will be the font I will be using for this particular application. And then I will be adding here a background color. The background color is going to be like hashtag F2, F2 and F2. You can see now the font is changed and also the background color is applied. Then I will be using here a display property. That is display. Then I will be using here a flex. Then justify content. It is going to center, and align items. It is going to center. So these are the things I applied to the body element. If I control save it, then you can see the content is actually at the center of the browser. Okay, means the center of the screen. And then I will be here applying the height. So it is going to be 100 VS. Now the content is actually moved to the center of the screen. After that, container, and inside of that I will be adding the background color. So we need to provide a pure white color to the background. You can see now the background color is applied to the container. And after that I will be here using the box shadow property. So box shadow is going to like 0 pixel, 2 pixel, and then the blurriness is going to like 10 pixel. And then I have to provide here RGBA, which is this one 0, 0, 0, and the alpha is going to like 0.1. Now you can see we have this, the box shadow is applied. Now in the index.html part, I'm going to actually change this h1 element to h2 element because h1 is too big for this particular one. So now you can see the heading is changed because h2 is actually well suited for this particular application. Coming back to the script style.css again, and instead of the container, here I will be terminating the code, and then I will be here using the max width property, which is 400 pixel. And then I will be using here a padding property. So padding is going to like 40 pixel. And then I will be adding the border radius property. Border radius, so border radius is going to like 10 pixel. And then I will be using here a text align property, which is center. And after that I will be applying the margin property, which is 0 auto. Control save it. Now you can see we get this perfect card like structure. Okay, and after that we need to actually provide the code for the h2 element. So h2 element, the first thing is we need to actually change the color a little bit. So like it's like 3 times 3. Okay, and then I need to increase the font size. Here I will be using the font size, which is 24 pixel. Alright, and then I will be adding the margin bottom property. So margin bottom is going to like 20 pixel. Even I can just go with 28 pixel. So now the heading is increased a little bit. After that I need to modify the input type. So here we need to select the input type, and then we need to select the type. So here we need to use the angular bracket, then the type equals to, inside of that we need to provide the text. Alright, and then to start its block of the code. Also we need one more input type, but with the focus state. Inside of the focus we want to change the border color. So border color, whenever there is a focus, so it is going to F50057. Alright, and after that we need to provide the outline as well. So the outline is going to like none. Okay, so when there is a focus, you can see now the color is applied and also the outline becomes none. Now inside the main input text, we need to first change the width. So width is going to like 100%. You can see now it's actually occupied the 100% width that its container is added according to its container. After that we need to provide here a height. So height is going to like 40 pixel. And then I need to provide the margin bottom because right now it is very close to the button. If I control save it, you can see the height is increased and also the margin bottom property is applied. Then we need to add the padding. So padding is going to like 5 pixel. Then the font size. So font size is going to be like 16 pixel. And then after that I will be applying the border. So border radius, not border radius. We need to apply the border, which is going to be none. Control save it. So whenever we click on it, you can see now the border is gone. Alright. And after that we need to add the border bottom, because we want to add the border at the bottom of the container. So it is going to add 2 pixel solid border, and then I need to add air color, which is FF4081. Control save it. Now you can see we get the border. Alright, so this is a border color. So when there is a focus, you can even change the border color to blue. You can see here, and you can just do it like this also, the lighter version of the pink. So when we click on it, then we will see, control save it. So when we click on it, we will see a different version of the border. You can see here. Okay, so there is a slight change in the bottom border of the input type. Now our next step is to style the button element. So first I am going to select the button and starting its body. Again I am going to copy the button, because we also need to apply the hover state to the button. It is like hover, and after that inside the hover we are just need to change the background color. So background color, it is going to be hashtag F50057. Alright, inside of the button we need to provide the padding first. So padding from top and bottom is going to be 10 pixel, from left and right it is going to 20 pixel. After that we need to add the background color. So background color is equal to the FF4081, and then I will be here using the color. So color is going to be hashtag 5FF. Then we need to actually change the here. I have actually noted it a hash symbol. That is the reason the color is not applied. Now the color is pink is applied to the button. Also the hover color is also applied to the button. Then we need to add the border property, which is border is going to be none. And then we need to use the font weight. So font weight is going to like 700. And then we need to apply the border radius. Border radius is going to be like 5 pixel, which is for the rounded buttons. And then we need to use the cursor pointer. So here we need to add the transition property. So it is going to be background, and then we need to add the color, background color. Then it is going to 0.3s is okay. If I hover over here, then you can see the transition is applied. So the next thing is we need to provide the code for this result one. So for that we need to use the ID selector. It is our result, and inside of that we will be applying the font size. So font size is 18 pixel, and then I will be here using the margin top property, which is 20 pixel. Okay, so this will be applied to this result element. So yeah, that's it for the CSS part for this get Unicode character value application. So from the next lecture we are going to start with the JavaScript part for this particular project. So now it's time to start with the JavaScript part for this get Unicode character application. So for that we need to use the script.js file. Inside of this script.js file, first we need to create the function, because if you see inside this particular button we have specified the detect char callback. So here we also need to provide the round brackets. Now it's become a function, so we need to copy this detect char function and come back to the script.js. So here I will be writing the function keyword, and then I'm going to paste in the name of the function. So inside of this particular function we will be first fetch the ID of the input type, then this particular result element. Okay, so first we need to get the ID of the input type. So here I will be using the const input, because we want the input from the input type. Then this is actually going to be document.get element by ID. So we need to check what is the ID. So it is the ID is input type. Then here I will be starting the round brackets. Instead of that we need to paste the input type. So we successfully fetch the ID, and then we need to get the value because it is an input element. So we need to get the element by using the dot value, otherwise we will get the tag name. Okay, so with the use of the dot value, whatever value we will enter inside of this will be stored inside this input variable. Okay, and after that, here I will be using the condition. If input means if there is an input inside the input, means if there is anything present inside the input, then we want to perform this particular if condition. Otherwise we want to just simply display the message, please enter the character. So here I will be, if you show in the final version of the application, if I click on it, then you can say please enter a character. So that is actually done with the use of this else block. So here I will be using the document.get element by id. So we actually want to get the id of the result element. So document.get element by id, inside of that we want to use the result element. And then here I will be using the text content. We want to update the text content, which is equals to, in a single quote, please enter a character. Okay, so this is what we want to display inside the error part. So if I control save it, if I click it, then you can see please enter a character, because right now it is empty. If I refresh it and if I do, then you can see nothing is happening because we need to specify the code inside this particular if part of the condition. So here we need to first create a variable which is const, and it is going to be a Unicode value. So it is actually going to be equal to input, which is this variable, because it is actually declared at the top of this particular function. So input dot, we need to use here a char add function. So this is our input dot char code add function. So this function is used. So whatever index we will pass here, means whatever the index we will pass to this particular function, it's going to return a character, means it's going to return a numeric value. So char code add function will actually returns a numeric value, whatever character we will pass as an argument to this particular function. So here we are actually passing the default char code add value, which is 0, and after that we want to actually get the result. So here we are going to use a result is equal to, that is this one, result equals to, then we need to use the template string. Alright, and then inside of that we first write the Unicode value of, and then here we need to add the value. So it is make double quotes. Instead of that I will be using the curly brackets because it is the value that we want to display, or I can say that the dynamically update. Then after these double quotes we need to here use the is, and then again we need to use the dollar, and then we need to here pass the Unicode value, which is actually we will get with the use of this particular line of the code. Alright, if we save it, then we will get the data inside this result variable. Now we need to set the result to this particular result element once there is a character present inside this particular input type. So for that again we need to use this one. So I'm going to copy this here and pasting it here. We want to update the text content, but instead of using this please enter a character, we will be passing here a variable value which is result. Now the code is completed. If I come back to the browser, if I enter here a 5, click on detect, then you can see the Unicode value of 5 is 53. If I enter here another character like a hash symbol, then you can see the Unicode value of the hash is 35. Alright, so our application is working totally fine. The only thing is inside of this paragraph element, remove this text. Now again here if I enter T and if I click on detect, then the Unicode value of small letter T is 116. So that's it for the application. Our application is working fine, which is get Unicode character value. So that's it for this particular module. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next lecture. Thank you very much.